Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. My hair's a mess and I didn't realize it. That's big years. But anyway, it's August 2025. John's supposed to be back, but he isn't in the room. We don't know where he's at. Oh, no. Come on, John, show up. But in the meantime,
where in the world is John Norris?
he should wear he comes in with a hat and the stripes.
Right, yeah. Yeah, come on. Who used to watch that show? Me, yeah. Love me some Carmen Sandiego.
No, that was Carmen Sandiego with the red trench coat and the hat. I had him as Where's Waldo. Because he even looks like that.
Yeah.
The past has it, I bet.
A little bit of a Waldo, yeah. Absolutely.
But we're just waiting on him, and we don't know what's going on. He was online with me a few minutes ago, right before the show, so I don't know. So anyway, update on Kitty. Had him at the vet yesterday, and they decided to give him more medicine to try to improve his appetite, although he was eating anyway, because he lost under half a pound in over a week. That was not good.
All right.
But his actual blood numbers and stuff were correct. Or not correct, but the same as before. They hadn't gotten worse. So they just tell me to keep feeding him. Whenever he wants to eat, feed him. It's like, yeah, but he's always bugging me to eat.
Right.
Just open the mouth and just.
Yeah. If there was a cat to human translator, it'd be like, feed me, bitch. Feed me, asshole! Feed me! Food!
Something like that. Anyway. But anyhow, how was your week so far?
Just pretty hectic. Work. Getting ready, preparing for this and preparing for that, and so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're still waiting. I'm gonna get a quick call to him and see what's going on. Hopefully, we get an answer. Shh. You want to do it that way? I'll do it that way. Oh, it's not ringing. That's weird. Well, I'm out the hook.
You have reached 803-348-1347. I'm not available.
You having problems getting online, John? Let me know. But
I'm not a rich man, but I have a particular set of skills, and those skills will allow me to find you. I will find you, and I will make you do this podcast.
oh, here he is. He's finally here.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Mr. Norris, good to see you.
Good to
Frankenstein
be here.
He's got a Frankenstein shirt on, right?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's a play we did called Frankenstein Slept Here. And I was the monster.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you froze. That's as afraid of. Did you freeze too, Chris?
No, I'm good. Well. Just kick him out and he'll come back in.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I didn't kick him out. I just removed him. But anyway, well, hopefully he'll be back here shortly. In the meantime, let's get crazy. Oh,
there he is.
Yeah, that's going on, but the other isn't going on, and that's what's annoying here now. Okay, where are you? There you are. Our first book of the night is Bank Surfer versus Nessie Monster or Ness Monster. Number 1, $8.99 from Gaba Comics. Creator is Gabriel Cozzarelli. Action adventure genre, age rating all ages. Release date May 21st, 2025. What's about? The ocean always looks calm until it doesn't. In this first chapter of the visually powerful BAYNX Surfer saga, our home hero rides the California waves not to escape but to confront. What begins as a silent introspective surf session quickly evolves into a collision with something ancient, something awakening beneath the surface. When the ocean roars, everything changes. What did I think of this book? The art is excellent. I like the concept. It's a little light on the story and page count for the price, in my opinion, but what there is here, I really did like. I would have loved to have seen a full 48 to 64 page volume printed in this format. So there's 28 pages with almost all the pages being pin-ups with one image, or maybe a couple of images on one big page. Even some add blank pages. That would have meant more expense, of course, but I would pay a $14.95 or even a $19.95 price for more story of this, no problem. I gave this a 3.5 stars. It would have scored higher easily if it had more story pages.
And my opinion is that Gabriel had some hidden feelings for Tanami.
Mm-hmm.
He had some feelings about Tanami.
Okay.
Because that looks just like the mascot from Tanami.
Yeah, well. I can say some really nice art there.
Yeah, it is very nice. Gorgeous.
And then you kind of get into this, and it's like, that's like a bit of a waste of page space, you know? They could have done more than that. Now, these look okay. You know, they're full story pages. They might be 3 panels each. But, okay. Not too bad. Mm-hmm. These look all right.
Yeah, those are really nice looking pages.
He kind of keeps to the 3 panel per page set. And it looks like the same image over and over, slightly changed though.
Right. So do you feel that this was specifically made for kids, and that's why it is put out like it is?
Maybe, but again, here we go. These full size pages, and they look beautiful. I just wish he kind of had done a little bit more,
Right.
But yeah, I'm digging it overall. And then you get pages like these are just, you can barely see it in a way, So it is what it is. But like I said, I give it 3.5. I would give it more if it had more story pages to it. I like the size of the format. I like the art. I just wish there was a little bit more than just,
him on a surfboard.
Well, not just him on a surfboard, but just one full page.
Right.
For page, I would prefer that there be the.
That's why I was wondering if that was because it was specifically made for a very young readership.
It could be, I guess, but I'd have to ask him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, is the story deeper or than
No, it's not that deep.
Okay.
No, it's not that deep. Yeah. So anyway, are you back, John?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Alrighty. So anyway, next book is BIOPHILE, KOLGA, Volume 1, Treatment Back to 1599 from the GodFoe universe. Writer Daniel Evans, writer Josh Adams. Genre is post-apocalyptic science fiction, horror, heroic fiction, released August of 2024. What it's about. BIOPHILE KOLGA follows the second life of the elusive heretic KOLGA gold coin as she fights to ensure the powerful Eye of the Fallen doesn't fall into the wrong hands, which very much could be her own. The last surviving member of the blasphemous BIOPHILE initiative, KOLGA has spent her life fighting God. But what she believed to be her final mission has instead left her cursed with a nigh eternal youth and memories of an unending hell. Now, along with her young ward June, she must navigate a world turned against her, taking on cult hordes, ancient witches, and God itself as her past races to meet her future. You guys probably know what I mean by God, and it's G-O-D. If you remember, we talked about a book called Apollyon 20XX last week. This is the continuation of that series.
Yeah, and we had Daniel on. We had Daniel on the show. Yeah, and he explained that he's very much into like existential themes and some pretty deep stuff. So
yeah, now you really do have to read Apollyon 20XX first to get more of the backstory world build in this book, in my opinion. But you can read it on its own and get a decent understanding, I guess. I don't know, because I read the Apollyon first. It's hard for me to say if I'd read this first, would I have been lost or not. I think I might have been, but I hadn't read the first one first. I do prefer this book artistically over Apollyon because it's in color, and I think that drastically improves Josh Adams' art. Chances are Adams' work as a line artist has improved over time as well. But looking at Apollyon Volume 2, which I have not yet read, but was just thumbing through the art, I just think his work is best served in color. I do think this story could have used some editing for clarity in a couple of points. I had to reread a couple of pages here and there to make sure I was reading things correctly. But that can happen on any book. It's not like it's a major flaw. Overall, reasonably well-produced book. I give it 3.5. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this one. A little smaller digest-sized book.
Oh, yeah. That looks very nice in color.
Mm-hmm. And to give you an idea of what I mean, how it looks so much better in color than in black and white. Same artist in black and white.
Which, I mean, that works too. It just...
Yeah,
I think
works.
it needs to just work on the grayscale some more, that's all. Grayscale is hard to do.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit, just a little bit duller, I guess. Whereas I think when he does the color, I mean, there's some things I don't care for. Like, I wish they had done the lettering a little bit more readable.
Yeah, you're not a fan of colored lettering.
Yeah. But other than that, well, it doesn't help when it's digest size. It's hard enough to read when it's normal size, but when it's digest. But I just think in color, his art really pops.
All right, it does. Because grayscaling is hard to do.
So, anyway, that one I gave a 3.5 too. Let's go to John since he's been missing so long.
Okay, Disney's Zootopia #4, publisher Dynamite Entertainment, writer Jeff Parker, artist Alessandro Rinaldi on pencils and inks, Diabla Kelly on colors, lettering Jeff Eckelberry, cover artist Trish Forstner with variant covers by Rinaldi and Craig Rousseau, editor Nate Cosby, genre comedy crime. Release date May 2025, rating teen. What it's about: the sky is no longer the limit. A rash of burglaries at the high-rise apartment towers of Little Rodentia bring officers Hops and Wild to the highest levels of Zootopian society, literally. The top suspects are a pair of daredevil performers called the Flying Squirrels, and the ZPD partners will have to catch them before they can bring them in for questioning, something easier said than done. Especially when half of the investigative team has a petrifying fear of heights. So what I thought, one thing that Parker and Rinaldi do very well in this series is fill the stories with great characters, and this issue is no exception. Nick and Judy are assigned to investigate some thefts at a high-rise apartment building inhabited by colorful characters such as a snarky elevator operator, a psychiatrist who ends up hypnotizing Nick and having a session with him, and my favorite, an audiophile who likes to hear his music perfectly, which I can definitely relate to. Then there's the Flying Squirrels, which just happen to be the same two flying squirrels that Nick and Judy kicked out of the airport in the first issue. They're back and performing high-flying stunts, but as always, it comes down to Nick and Judy. Nick in particular is hilarious in this issue, and Rinaldi gives him some absolutely wonderful expressions. This issue was such a fun read, and it was just what I needed after 3 nights of play rehearsal.
And of course, this is the Rinaldi variant cover. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in this picture. Can you explain it, John?
Yes. So if you've seen the movie Zootopia, if you remember the way that Nick and his partner, the Fennec Fox, whose name escapes me at the moment, but the way they make money is they buy those jumbo popsicles and they melt them down so they can create smaller popsicles and sell them. And I think that's what they're doing in this cover.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because when I first saw that, I'm like, is that blood? What?
Yeah, that's trials. Yeah, what's going on here? But that's cool. All right.
Like, Disney got dark.
And you gave it a 4 out of 5, John. And this
Yep.
is the Russo cover, which again, it's Craig doing his sort of blending into the background thing going on there.
Yep.
And here's some of the artwork. Go ahead and talk about that.
So I love some of the expressions that Alessandro Rinaldi gave Nick, like this one on the left. And then on the right here, they're investigating the audiophile's apartment. And it's like, I'm an audiophile. I like to hear my music perfectly, which is my thoughts exactly. So that was cool. And again, here's some more expressions on Nick Wilde.
Yeah, well, not just Nick, but I mean, even the two flying squirrels are like kind of weird but funny at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff.
Okay. All right, our next book is Comic Book Creator, number 39, publisher TwoMorrows Publishing for $10.95, various writers and artists for ages 13 up, genre, interview and historical review magazine. I don't remember when the release date was, but it's like in the last 3 weeks or so. So anyway, Thomas Yeats grants a career-spanning interview about attending the Kubrick School's first graduating class, his start at DC on Swamp Thing, his Eclipse comics work, including the Michael Jackson Captain EO comic, and becoming the greatest adventure comic strip cartoonist of the last 30 years, working on Zorro, Tarzan, and Prince Valiant. Also, Greg Potter discusses his 1970s Warren horror comics and the work he did on the 80s reboot of Wonder Woman with George Perez and more. Kitty Comics artist Warren Kremer is celebrated by Mark Arnold in a biographical essay, plus part one of a look at the work of Steve Willis, the amazingly prolific king of the mini comics and masterful cartoonist of Morty the Dog, and more. Just another great issue from the folks at TwoMorrows. The Yeats interview was great. Learned quite a bit about Greg Potter, who I only knew from his work with Perez on Wonder Woman. I know he'd done some other things for DC and stuff, but that's like the only thing I really remember that he did, which is kind of sad. But, so I guess this is the way it is. The Kitty Comics article on Warren Kremer was really cool. I think, John, you would have liked that article very much. Just great comics journalism and historical overviews overall. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. Love the cover here by Yates as well. Just really well painted. Let's see what else we got. Okay, Chris, your turn.
Alrighty. This is Cruel Universe, Volume 2, Number 1, $4.99. Publisher EC Comics and Oni Press. Writers various, artists various. Genre science fiction. Released August 6, 2025. What it's about. Whether future or past, Earth or a distant world, no man can outrun the infinite singularity within us all. Fear. Join this doomed expedition into the cold, unforgiving galaxies beyond our own nihilistic navigators. Charlie Adlard, The Walking Dead, Jay Holtham, EC's Epitaphs from the Abyss, Kano, Immortal Iron Fist, and Nocenti, Daredevil, David Rubin, Sherlock, Frankenstein, and Greg Park, Planet Hulk, smash the laws of science, and splice the immortal EC Comics genome into a new breed of parasitic extraterrestrial tales with an endless appetite for pain. Plus, as an added bonus, a nerve-ending science fiction classic from the EC vaults, painstakingly remastered and newly restored to its original coloring.
Well, before I talk about what I think, the cover's very nice. I really like the cover. I was kind of burned out on Cruel University and really all the easy titles before this, but this did make me go, okay, I'll get one more.
The covers always pull you in.
Yeah.
They're doing their job.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the first story is still putting off being woke. Oh, woe is I, the Black Rider, telling about how humanity hates us all black men and everybody attacks us whenever they see us. Because there's an alien, he wants to hide himself among humanity, so he does as a black man. I'm like, dude, that would happen to any other ethnicity as well. It happens to the Hispanics, it happens to the Asians, it happens to the Native Americans, it happens to the Middle Easterners. It took me right out of the whole book. I didn't even want to read the rest of the issue. I've decided, fuck you, Oni. I'm not buying any more EC books from Oni. Period. And I'm not even going to bother giving it a rating.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Well, I didn't read the rest of the stories. I just, that first story just pissed me off beyond everything.
The problem I have with these EC remakes is that they lack the bite and the dark, like the black humor and the twist that the original EC comics had. There's just, they're okay. The art is good. The story's okay. It just lacks that nasty punch.
Well, you can't have a nasty bite or punch because that would mean the audience would be going, cancel them all.
So that's my problem with these anthology books.
Yeah, but that's we're not going to do those anymore. I think we've run the course of that as far as the new stuff. I think, and we'll review the classic stuff, the real EC in the future, but no more of that stuff. It's just not. They don't get it. All right. Come on. All right, John, your turn again.
All right. Herculoids, number 4. Publisher, Dynamite Entertainment. Writer, Tom Snigoski. Artist, Craig Rousseau. Lettering, Taylor Esposito. Colors, Omi Rimalanti Jr. The covers are by Francesco Mattina, which you see here. Joseph Michael Linsner, Bjorn Berens, and Philippe Massafera. It's actually
there's also a Kyle Holtz. I know.
Yep. Editor Joseph Rybant. Genre adventure fantasy sci-fi. Released May 28, 2005. Rating teen. What it's about. Gaze through the eyes of the dragon. In this issue, after seeing the whole Herculoids team in action against the mole people, it's time to zoom in on some of its more uncanny members. And first up is Zoc, the laser ray dragon. Get ready for a special POV journey into Zoc's inner world, as well as across the wilds of planet Amzot, where his present life with his strange adopted family sparks hints of a dimly remembered past that seems like a dream or possibly a nightmare. The laser-focused creative energies of author Tom Snigoski and artist Craig Rousseau illuminate new realms in the Herculoids number 4, featuring freshly charted covers by Francesco Mattina, Linsner, Berens, Massafera, and Kyle Holtz.
And there's the house cover, which is probably the best one of the lot.
Yeah. So first of all, so I never actually got my physical copy of this issue because my shop never received this issue. Apparently, this issue got lost in the shuffle due to Dynamite's severing ties with Diamond, or at least that's what Eric at the shop told me. And they did try to order for me with so far no success. And I checked another local shop, Heroes and Dragons. They didn't have it either, so I reluctantly went and tracked it down, oh gosh, as a pirated version online.
Publishers, this is why you should offer mail order subscriptions to your readers. It's your own damn fault. Is it just me, or does this Barron's cover look like really bad AI?
It's not just you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now, as I have pointed out in my reviews of the previous issues, this series has established Zoc as a female, which honestly I still cannot get used to. So I was surprised to find the synopsis referring to Zoc as a male. Well, it turns out that the synopsis is wrong and Zoc is still a female. And big spoiler alert, because I really didn't know how to talk about this issue without mentioning this spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually gives birth.
Okay. Did you go freeze on us again? Yeah.
I think you might have. All right. Yep, he froze.
Yeah. So anyway, there's only one panel featuring a faceless human character this time, but it was still there nonetheless. And since John and I are both friends with Craig Rousseau, he went and wanted some answers, basically, as to what was going on. So according to Craig, they weren't sure if it had ever been established that Zoc was male in the first place. Okay, I guess I'll get into that in a little bit. And Tom Snigoski was told that he could change the continuity a bit and make Zoc female. Now, just because you can doesn't always mean that you should. And like John says, he's still trying to get used to that idea. Having said that, The sequence where Zoc gives birth is nicely done, and Rousseau draws Zoc beautifully, and I agree with that. As for the faceless character, Tara in this case, which we'll show you in a moment, Rousseau said that it came down to the page size and that he wanted to leave them all blank, which thank God he didn't. But he figured it pushed her back into the background a little bit more if he left her face features off, which technically he's right. All John can say is, I'm glad he didn't leave them all blank. The panel looks odd enough without the face on her alone as it is. John is not honestly sure how much longer he's going to continue. He wants to let it go. And there's certainly some good stuff in it, but it just feels like too much of a mixed bag. And there's no reason for it to be that way. And I agree with him.
There he
Sorry
is.
about that.
That's all right. So I got you through. I got all through yours, and I'm back. Now I'm going to speak my mind. Unless you want to reread it.
Yeah, it's just way like I just really, from making Zoc a female to, Craig, not giving people facial features. Like, I just really don't understand some of the decisions they've made.
Right. Now Craig claims that they couldn't find any information or documentation as to what Zoc to solidify Zoc's gender. Excuse me. Everybody acts like there's no archival elements to these classic cartoons, and I realize that after 60 years, a lot of it has been lost. It's not like Hanna-Barbera kept it all intact. But I'm pretty damn sure that when Alex Toth calls Zoc a he in interviews, Zoc's a male. Just saying. Alex created the damn characters. I think he knows which gender they were. That kind of bugs me as an answer, but that's just me. Now, I don't mind if you want to change the gender, but how hard can it possibly be to make a story explaining it? Male, maybe all of Zoc's race are born male, but because there's only males, there's no natural way to procreate, so they have to journey to a certain spot on the planet Azimuth where it changes them into a female, and in the process makes them pregnant, and they give birth to the offspring. And then when the offspring gets to a certain age, the space dragon dies, having fulfilled its biological life cycle, and you could tell a story about having to deal with the grief of losing a loved one without a bombastic, shocking, killing death event. That would have made sense, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you'd have a new baby Zoc character that's a male that is new. Maybe, and how would that grow up with the new characters and how would he react with them? That would have been interesting. But I suspect if they'd done that, fans would have hated this because fans want their characters static and unchanging anyway. But at least it would have been an explanation as to why the characters are female, right?
Right.
Now watch, Signosky will actually end up doing that. I'm assuming because it just doesn't show the part where without the change. I like the Oates and the Linsner covers. This is the Linsner cover, and let's go back and look at that. This is the Oates cover.
Yeah, Kyle can put together a cover like nobody's business.
Yeah, I like the Oates cover. I like the Linsner cover. But the story in this book just baffles me, and I'm just unable to get into this book. And I mean, did he really tell you he wanted to take all the faces out of that one panel, John?
Yeah. I screenshotted you what he said.
Yeah. That just blew my mind.
It's an artistic choice.
It is. So anyway, John gave it a 3. I gave it a 2. And let's look at the art. The art's nice enough. Okay.
And it's and again, this mixed bag is like he draws Zoc beautifully, I think. And other, Herculoids too, but then, to give Tara, to leave her face off, like, It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you barely put Dorno's face in, and I mean, you got a little face there for Xandor, but yeah, I mean, you could have at least put 2 dots for the eyes for her. I don't think it would have made a difference. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I agree with you. So, I mean,
well, I mean, I understand why he's doing it because it's a size thing. At that size, you don't really see a face. It's just kind of it's kind of a blur anyway. So I understand why he's doing it, but I can understand also that it irritates some people.
I mean, Dorno face, almost no face again. But
it's almost like that trick that they do in manga, where the scene will be like it'll be rendered very simply, and then when they focus in on something like an object or something like that or a person, then it's super detailed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he never does the super detailed. That's the thing.
True. Yeah.
It's just not his style. That's why it doesn't work as well. The battle here between Zoc and the whatever creature it is was quite interesting. But yeah, it's just there. I wasn't really digging it. I don't know about you, John.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, next one is yours, Chris.
All righty. This is TEXARCANUM, number 1 of 4, $4.99. Publishers Dark Horse, writers Chris Monfetti, artist Miguel Martos, colors Patricio Del Pesce, lettering Michael Heisler, editor Rose Weitz, genre occult, supernatural, crime, mystery. This was released on July 23rd. 2025. What it's about: America is a melting pot for the supernatural. Ghosts and gods, angels and demons, horror stories and tall tales. They've traveled from all across the globe to collide in the rural heartland, and cowboy arcanist Avery Bell has spent a very long lifetime amongst them. Horror noir meets Elmore Leonard in the mystic Midwest. A monster of the week adventure with horror elements based on mythology.
Oops, something's missing
There
here.
we go.
Nope, there's a page missing. Chris, go ahead and do you remember what you said about this?
So when I read this, I thought it was going to be like an anthology book. And, I do like anthologies, so I'm always willing to check them out and see. Because I thought this was going to be like Texarkana was just a weird place that drew in weird, right? And they're going to have all these different stories of the weird that happens there. But this book just got really convoluted really fast. All of a sudden there's like monsters attacking the town, and there's like this prophecy like don't go any further or you're gonna die, and then all of a sudden this like monster hunter, bounty hunter guy shows up, and I don't know, it was just all really convoluted really fast.
I think what we were both thinking was this was going to be something like American Gods meets Longmire.
Right.
And they don't have the American Gods to speak of in this yet. They missed the Longmire by a long shot. Avery he's just kind of generic Casey cowboy, sort of an occultist, arcanist, whatever.
Right.
It's like he just doesn't seem to have the chutzpah to do anything. And the world build just doesn't seem to be there.
Right.
And that's what I found. It just wasn't strong enough. I felt like there was research that was done for the story, but I think that the writer wanted to contradict some of the legends that he's working with. Partly, I think, to obfuscate the plot so that you don't figure out what's going on too early.
Right.
But when you contradict your sources, you have to compensate and give explanations. And if you're doing that and the explanations take you out of the story, which I think they do here because there's just too much going on, and you're just trying to figure out what, you're kind of spinning around what's related to what. You just lose interest. And I think that's why you lost interest as well.
Exactly. And I enjoyed the art. The art was good. That's why I gave it the score I did. But it definitely did not live up to the blurb that they put out. So
yeah. Chris gave it a 2.5. I gave it a 3. I want the character to be so much more than he is. That's the biggest thing to say.
Right.
And that was like, there's so much potential for that character, but it's not met, at least not in this issue. Are we giving up on it after one issue?
I mean, I'll give it another shot. Sometimes books get off to a rough start. So
okay, we'll give it one more. We'll give it one more issue. Okay.
Because I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
And some of the parts were really well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the art here is okay. The coloring is quite interesting.
It's adequate.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, yeah, it works.
Yeah. The faces of the boys is quite funny, I think. People just don't know how to draw children, and I can't.
Burn.
I really can't complain too much about it because I'm not the best at drawing children myself. So, come on. You want to get up here? I got the Midnight Monster.
Oh,
Come on. He can't make up his mind if he wants to get up here or not. I guess he's not. All right. Anyway, but the guy here with the whiskey glass or whatever in his hand.
Yeah, I thought it was urine.
Yeah, it could be urine. I don't know, but whatever. He reminded me of the character from something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah, and the character itself is a standard in horror. He's the what do they call him? He's the old guy that like at the gas station or wherever that tells you, like, hey, if you go to this place, if you go there, you're gonna die. So that's the Harbinger. That's Harbinger. His role. Yeah, okay. The Harbinger.
Now, I liked how the boys are back to the story, and then they look back in the book, and the image is gone from the book. Where'd it go?
And for those of you who don't know, Strigoi, that's like a Romanian vampire, basically. Yeah.
So Strigoi in the Midwest. in the 1800s,
Right.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes if we decide to continue with it. But what do you think of what you saw, John?
And the art looked pretty interesting. I obviously can't say anything about the story, but and the art looked rather nice.
I know it's not necessarily your cup of tea.
He decided he had to get up here anyway. Always want to wear a black shirt so you can't see him.
Yeah. Psst, I'm hiding in shadows.
Anyway, that's pretty much all our reviews for the week because we had really bad weather this week or today, and I don't know. I had no internet for 2.5 hours at all.
I had 2 thunderstorms.
Yeah, we had rain here too. Just
Mhm.
not. I don't know how bad John's was, but ours was just like mostly steady drizzle all day.
Oh no, ours was shake the house thunder. Like it was bad.
Oh, your dogs were miserable.
Oh, they were, and I'm going the whole time. I'm like, power's gonna go out. I know it. I know the power's gonna go out.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much all we got for you this week. I did get one email asking me about my rant about the retailers.
Oh, okay.
And it's like I'm not going to bother reading it, but it was more or less like if you knew what you were talking about. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know who you are. I read your
reader, or watcher. Trust me, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but anyway, next week, because we didn't get some of the books that we were supposed to review this week, we'll have Guardians of the Last Dragon, number 1, Murder Podcast number 1, assuming that Bug Wars number 6 and Blood and Thunder come out on time. They'll be there next week. Hopefully, the Fashion School Serial Killer, we'll be able to get that one for review. We got Heavy Metal number 2, so we'll definitely review that one. We've got Eerie number 2, which we'll definitely review that. Gotham, that's the new Elseworlds, Gotham by Gaslight with the Justice League number 2, and Slasher's Apprentice. Are we still reading Slasher's Apprentice, or have you given up on that?
No, I really like that one, so I'm enjoying that.
You read so many different serial killer things, I can't keep track of which one's which.
This one I like. This and Fashion School Serial Killer, I'm really enjoying. So
okay, I knew you were enjoying the Fashion School one, but I just wasn't. I lose track of all the ones because that's your genre and it's all the
right.
same.
Yeah, I know. It's like somebody with a knife killing somebody.
But anyway, and more. Speaking of which, did you bring your package of books, Chris?
Oh shoot. I completely forgot. Hold on, give me 1 sec.
Mm-hmm. You gotta find them. All right. Well, while we're doing that, let me. As he's looking around, I'm gonna kick you out for a little bit, Chris. Just come back in, all right? Nope, he can't hear me. Oh dear. All right, I'm just gonna kick him for a minute. All right. Well, he's searching through it wherever he hid stuff. You've got stuff to read too that you haven't read in a long time. What do you got that you haven't read that you're gonna maybe bring up?
I'm not sure I'll actually be here next week. I think I've got rehearsals as we'll be starting to run the acts in full, so I'll have to check my schedule. I know I've still got some Disney stuff that I haven't read yet. Oh gosh.
How are you? Are you reading Space Ghost anymore?
No.
Okay. We know you gave up on Silverhawks.
Yep.
How about Thundercats? How are you doing on that one? Did you give up on that one?
Not yet. I haven't read it in a while, but I'm still with that one for the moment.
Okay. I'm trying to get some other stuff for you that you haven't read, but you've also got that classic graphic novel I got you, like, I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
The
Watership Down.
Yes, Watership Down. I was thinking Bunny Rabbit Adventure. What is it called?
Oh, look, cute bunnies.
In a way, yes, that is exactly what it is. I don't know. So, how you doing, Chris? Did you find your books?
All right, I got my books. These are all books that Raven was kind enough to send me.
Oh, look at the monster here.
So we have, I don't know if you can see him with in the bag with the film on. So we have
0 Day Threat.
0 Day Threat.
Number 1.
Which looks really cool. You want me to go through all these or just pick some random ones?
Well, which one do you want to review? Is what I'm saying. 1 or 2 you want to review. Since you've got them right there, you don't have to wait and see if they send you the PDFs or if you go hunt online or whatever.
Ooh, Cthulhu Jr., Dastardly and Dark.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a John book. I'm going to review that.
Okay, we're going to do Cthulhu Jr., and that's one of the free comic book day books from Art Balthazar.
It is, yeah. Halloween Comic Fest, The Adventures of Cthulhu Jr. and Dastardly Dirk from Source Point Press.
Okay.
Let's see what else here. We got The Only Living Boy. That seems like a throwback to the Commandi.
Yeah, that's a good series.
We got Robotech, Lady Mechanica.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Joe Benitez, huh? Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, The House of Fear from Dark Horse. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to go through that one. Lady Mechanica. Let's see here. Oh, you gave me Howl. Conan. Gorgeous artwork. Mark Spears Monsters.
Yep.
Great cover there, yeah. Got some Gundam. And from Vault Comics, Post Malone's Big Rig. Have you ever wondered what a Post Malone comic book would be like? This is it.
Yeah. So which one do you? We know you're doing Lady Mechanica, Cthulhu Jr.,
and House of Fear so far. Let's see here. What else do we have?
You don't have to get all of them all in one night.
No, I'm just looking through. Oh, we got another. So, 2 issues of Lady Mechanica.
You going to get down? Okay.
And looks like that's it.
Okay. The 2 issues of Lady Mechanica.
Yeah.
And the House of Fear and the Cthulhu Jr.?
Yep.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And then if you get your other books in, you'll have a whole whopping 6 books. It'll be a Chris night for a change. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. While you were gone looking for the books, John has informed me that he may not be back next week because he may have to do another theatrical appearance.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, next week we start running acts. So
Is that which one is that on?
Freaky Friday, the musical.
Freaky Friday. Okay, very cool, and very poignant with the new movie coming out with yeah. Which is that a Freaky Friday movie? I can't remember.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's now Jamie Lee Curtis is the grandmother, Lindsay Lohan is the mother, and they've got like her daughter, and I guess the daughters are switching back with them or something
like that.
The mother's not the daughter. The daughter's the granddaughter is the sister, and the cats are the dogs. That's hysteria.
Yes. I think we can skip it though, because I'm over that concept. I don't know about you.
I was pretty much over that concept with whatever one it was with the kid and the dad that switched.
Okay.
So I was done with that concept back in the 90s.
So anyway, quite a bit of stuff there. And then tomorrow, we're going to do Comic Independence as our documentary. Nights continue on Friday night, movie night. And we're talking about 20 different comic creators, talking about what makes indie comics so special. We'll be listening to Eric Larson and Wendy Pini and the late, I can't think of his name. I can't read it big enough either, probably. Let me see if I can blow that up real quick.
We got a lot of good stuff here. Elf Quest, Too Much Coffee Man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good stuff.
Goon, Sock Monkey.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the guy who does Wolf and Bird, Counselors of the Macabre, but I can't think of his name. But, Linda Medley's Castle Waiting, all kinds of cool stuff there. So, lots of cool stuff to read there or talk about tomorrow on that. And this weekend on the podcast for Glass House Wrap-Ups.
Yes, Glass House, Throwing Stones. We are going to have the fantastic Christopher Sotomayor. He's one of the best colorists in the industry. He also runs how-to coloring classes. So he's pretty well known for that. And those are fantastic courses if you want to learn how to be a colorist. And we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four movie.
Okay. So quite a bit on Saturday. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow night.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. So we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern for the Independence movie talk. And until then, if you want to reach out to me on social media, Facebook, Lewis.BrettRaven, at Twitter, at LewisBrettRaven2. My art you can look at deviantart.com/BrettRaven. You can look at Chris's coloring work. It's deviantart.com/FatBoy73. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brett Raven exclusively on YouTube. Joey Joe's in the room.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
And questions, comments, suggestions for books or things you want us to talk about, Quoth the Raven, LBR72@gmail.com. Or if I'll get back to you on that email address, try LewisBrettRaven@yahoo.com. If you want to reach out to the other guys, John, it's GrayFigaro@hotmail.com. And the big green meanie is GHThrowingStones@gmail.com.
Secret. I'm not really mean.
That depends.
When have I ever gone on a rant?
Excuse me?
Those poor retailers are probably like, yeah, He's so mean.
Yes, well, you did go on a rant not that long ago on this show. You don't remember?
Oh, I do. Yes.
When have I ever gone on a rant? I'm like, really? Seriously? All right. The one who doesn't go on a rant here is John, because he's just so nice and so polite. And we say that lovingly.
At least that's the face I present to the world.
Right.
Right.
Well, behind closed doors, serial killer.
Are you trying to get me to spit take, you bastard? Oh, you
John's got body parts in the freezer.
Anyway. Oh well. Until later then, we'll see you guys next time on Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.
Or